Hey guys, welcome to the Massive Iron Channel. I'm Steve Shaw. In this video, we're going to talk about triceps training. Stop. You're training your triceps wrong. Before I get into this topic, if you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. The best topic ideas I turn into videos just like this. If you need coaching, check out the link down below. I would love to help. And don't forget, every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern, I run Massive Iron Live here on the YouTubes. All right, stop. You're training your triceps wrong. Yes, I got the title from scrolling through YouTube's. I saw it on Athlean X's videos, so I thought I would do something similar. Now, I'm not trying to bash Athlean X. I didn't actually watch his video, but I thought to myself, how are we training triceps wrong? So here we are. I'm going to give you guys 5 tips to improve your triceps training. All right, tip number 1, your close grips are too close. This is a very common issue. Way back in the day in the 80s and 90s, and this probably still lingers around now, you would see the close grip bench press real close, like with a super close grip. Now, this is absolutely incorrect. When you bring your grip in too close, your elbows are going to flare. You're going to have really poor leverages, and you're going to not be able to use a lot of really challenging weight. What's the point of bringing your grip in so close that you can't really challenge your triceps? What we really want to do on triceps is find our bench press grip and move our bench press grip in about the width of our palms. By doing that, we'll place more stress on our triceps and a little bit less stress on our pecs. So find your bench press grip width and move it in about a palm's length. Now, when you're doing your close grip bench presses, understand you don't have to take them all the way to your chest. By hanging them a few inches above your chest, you'll place a little bit of extra stress on your triceps. This is what I do during my close grip training. So give these 2 adjustments a try, and they'll stress your triceps a little bit more than the old school bodybuilding narrow type grip. All right, tip number 2, and this is a big one. It's okay to rotate your elbows on skull crushers and on cable tricep extensions. And let me explain. The old school bodybuilding think was that you had to have your elbows stapled to your side like a robot when doing cable tricep extensions. The rope extensions or the bar extensions. The thought was if your elbows aren't stapled to your side, then you're doing them wrong, then you're cheating. Same thing on skull crushers. Basically, the thought is you have to have your elbows locked into place, and you just do this mechanical type of movement. This is nonsense. Rotation is okay. By adding in rotation and then extension, rotation and extension, you're going to call into play more of the long head of the triceps. It's going to feel like more of a natural movement. You'll be able to use more weight. You'll be able to have a little bit better leverage, and you'll get a better feel on your triceps. The same thing with extensions. Instead of locking your elbows into place, it's okay when the weight comes up to allow a little bit of elbow rotation. Rotating down is a function of the triceps. It'll call into play more of the long head of the triceps, and this is where old school bodybuilding think had it wrong. A little bit of rotation down and then extension will give you better feel, more power, better leverages, and more weight. So when you're doing skull crushers or when you're doing cable tricep extensions, think rotation and extension, rotation and extension. Now, if you doubt me, I'm going to give you a challenge here. I want you to do dumbbell pullovers, old school dumbbell pullovers on a bench, and just do them the way they used to do them. And you're going to notice that your triceps are going to be involved. You're going to hit your triceps pretty hard. You might even get some tricep soreness. This will show you that rotation is part of the function of the triceps. All right, tip number 3, heavy pressing matters. Triceps are heavily involved in vertical pressing or overhead pressing, military pressing, and horizontal pressing, or what we call bench press variations. To grow big triceps, you better attack these movements in a big way. In fact, I believe that big triceps and big arms are heavily tied to big benches and overheads. I have big triceps. Triceps are one of my biggest muscle groups. And I believe probably 80% of the reason for this is my obsession with pressing. I do a lot of overhead pressing, a lot of overhead press variations, and a lot of bench variations, not just barbell, but dumbbell as well. If you want big triceps, you have to focus on these lifts. You have to attack the overhead presses and the chest presses, your bench presses, with a lot of weight and a lot of variations. My week looks like dumbbell bench, a dumbbell bench variation, a barbell bench variation, and usually some sort of machine chest press or a plate loaded chest press. For overheads, I use a dumbbell variation, a barbell variation, and again, usually a machine variation. Remember that big arms equal big triceps. Attack your presses. The isolation style triceps exercises or the things adding in things like close grips and cable tricep extensions are good, but they're not going to give you big triceps without doing your heavy presses. You need both. All right, tip number 4, and this is a big one. The triceps can take a beating. They're a big, beefy muscle group, and they can take a pounding. You can train them harder than you do biceps, and don't be afraid to crush them with volume. A lot of times when we look at bicep training and tricep training, we kind of give the same volume for both. Your triceps can take more punishment. So you, regardless of the split you're working with, whether it's a full body, whether it's an upper lower or upper posterior or a body part split, you can work in more triceps volume. On a body part split, you could work in triceps on chest day and on delt day. On a full body, you could add in an exercise variation on each day. And on an upper lower, if there's room or time, add in more triceps work. More is usually better within reason. All right, tip number 5, and this might trigger some people, but I do not care. Choose progression lifts over foo-foo lifts. Not all the time. It's okay to have a foo-foo lift at the end of your programming. I do dumbbell extensions. You can do single arm tricep extensions. I call these foo-foo lifts because they're a little bit lighter, more on the super isolation end of the spectrum. But for triceps, you want exercises that allow for a lot of progression. You want the meat and potatoes of your triceps work to have some sort of big progression focus. Cable tricep extensions allow for progression, close grip benches, JM presses, things like that. Assisted triceps, push downs, things that really allow for you to get a lot stronger than you are now. Even things like dips, even if we put a chest slant on the dips, even dips allow for a big progression opportunity. So whatever exercises you're choosing for your triceps, make sure that at least 3 out of every 4 are just big hitters with a lot of room for progression or strength growth. It's okay to have one foo-foo lift at the end when your triceps are torched, but do not rely completely on foo-foo style exercises. So guys, hope this video has been of some help. If you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. If you made it this far in this video and have yet to subscribe to my channel, please do. I'd appreciate the support. So guys, as always, thanks for watching. Have a great day.